Okay, it's that time that we have to make our posters using Illustrator. Now, we spent a long time installing this software on our computers. If Illustrator's not open, press Command and Spacebar on your keyboard and type in the letters ILL. Press Enter when you see Adobe Illustrator, and after about 30 seconds, you should see something a little bit like this. Let's press on Create New. Let's go over to where it says Print. Click on A4, and it doesn't matter if we have it lying down or standing up. For now, I'm just going to have it in portrait mode, so standing up. Press Create. First thing to realize is Illustrator's not like any program you've used before. It's really powerful, but it's also really complicated. So we'll take it a little bit slower now. Using your trackpad, you can zoom in and zoom out just by moving two fingers apart and closer together. That's really useful. You can also use two fingers to scroll in any direction. Again, really useful when you're doing complicated designs. Now let's go through the real basics of Illustrator. Illustrator is used to draw shapes and to join shapes and to change shapes. What we don't normally do in Illustrator is go directly to the paintbrush and start painting all of the screen like that. Actually, I'm going to say it's not allowed to use the paintbrush in any of the work that we do for this project. Now let's talk about one really important rule in Illustrator, and that is no matter what you do, if you draw a shape, if you do typing, if you are doing any kind of special effect, it doesn't matter what you do in Illustrator, you always go and click on that thing there, the selection tool, or as I call it, the black arrow, every single time. And if you remember to do that, Illustrator is really easy to use. So let's draw a couple of shapes. We're going to go down to this little button over here with the square on it. We'll click on it and we'll just draw a square. If you go back to that button and keep it clicked, you can see that we've got a number of shapes. So let's draw a circle like this. The other shapes we're not going to worry about now. One thing to remember is when you're drawing a shape, if you want it to be a perfect square or a perfect circle, hold Shift on your keyboard before you draw, and when you draw, it doesn't matter what you do, that circle is going to be perfect. If you don't have Shift, you can squash and stretch that circle. Press Shift and it will be a perfect circle. Now let's follow my advice. Go and click the black arrow. I'm going to just choose all of those and press Delete on my keyboard. Let's do a really simple circle with a line through it. That's a classic universal symbol. So I'll click on the circle again. I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard and draw a really big circle like that. Click the black arrow and let's move that kind of there. Now let's go down to where it says Properties, as you're going to be spending a lot of time here changing colors. Let's take the one that says Stroke. Now stroke means the outline. We'll click on there. We'll click on the red and you can see we've got a really thin red circle. Let's click back on there. And let's make that stroke really thick. Something around 45. That should do it. Now we want to draw a line. Now drawing a line in Illustrator again can be really confusing. So we're going to go to this button over here, which looks like a fountain pen. We're going to click here. And outside of the circle, I'm just going to press the button once, move it down, and press the button again. You can see I've got a big fat line. Now if I keep clicking, I'm going to make a mess out of this. So let me undo those last two steps there. When I think I've finished with the line, I'm going to press Escape on my keyboard. Again, click the black arrow and move this line to the circle over here. Now we can see that it's too short. So what we're going to do now is click on the white arrow that's underneath the black arrow like this. We're going to click on that point once. And now we're going to pick it up. We're going to move it to the other side. And there we have our classic you can't do or stop or you're not allowed to do universal symbol. Now, when we move this circle around, what you'll notice is that the line stays behind. So what we're going to do really quickly is again making sure the black arrow is clicked, select both the line and the circle, go up to Object and press on Group. Now this is one group. That means when you move one thing, the other will move with it. And there we go.